There are two sides to this story, but it's very, very difficult for the royal family to compete with a narrative when, as friends say, members of the royal family and William is a sitting duck because Harry knows he's not going to come out and give an interview and give his side of the story.
And now on the front of the Sunday Times today, friends say Prince William is burning over revelations in his brother Harry's memoir, but refuses to retaliate for the sake of his country and family. Well, that is an exclusive by Roya Nikkhah, who is the Sunday Times royal editor. And Roya's with us now. Morning.
Good morning.
So tell us, you've been having lots of conversations, haven't you, with people about how Prince William is feeling. Just give us an insight into what you've been told.
Yes. Well, I mean, as I say in my piece today, the whole week I think has been a bit of a tumult for the royal family, and all eyes have been on William all week to see how he would respond to all these allegations and accounts in Harry's book. And I think for the time being, he's taken the view that he's not having a very fun time of things. But his view is, I think he wants to sort of, stay silent for the time being and just let his work and his role, public role, speak for the job. But he really, I think there are two sides to this story. But it's very, very difficult for the royal family to compete with a narrative when, as friends say, members of the royal family and William is a sitting duck because Harry knows he's not going to come out and give an interview and give his side of the story.
You've also been speaking to people who have been friends of Harry's in the past, and they're feeling pretty fed up, some of them, about what they feel are inaccuracies in the book.
Yeah, I mean, I've spoken to a lot of people, including friends of Harry's, friends of both brothers, who have been sort of very, equally loyal to both all their lives, lifelong friends, have seen, what these two boys and then men have gone through. And they feel that by Harry going so public with so many sort of personal things, it's a sort of a break of a bond of loyalty that has really infuriated actually some of them. It's very strong language, some of which I didn't even put into my piece. People talking about Harry, who are their friends, but they've also pointed out, I've spoken to friends who were there at some of these instances that Harry describes, or in the immediate aftermath, who have questioned the version of some of the events in the same way that we heard that famous Recollections May Vary statement from the Queen after Oprah, and former royal aides who I spoke to after the Netflix series who, said that, described some of the claims in that as just total lies and gave me very specific examples of why that was. So again, there, when you only hear one side of the story, it's very difficult to put the counter narrative across.
Do we know if Harry has many of his old friends still around him? Is he in touch with them, or is he somewhat in an echo chamber right now?
Well, he doesn't have any of them around him out in California.
I've just been to talk to bounce ideas off, to get advice.
I know he's in touch sporadically with some of his old friends. There are a few very close friends who are in touch with him, but I think Harry possibly doesn't want to hear some of the advice that some of his oldest and closest friends would give. As you can see from what they're saying in my piece today, they feel what he's doing isn't right. But I've spoken to friends of Harry's as well, and reflected in the piece today, who sort of try to justify what he's doing and explain that he's gone so public because he wanted to get everything off his chest, because he's lived a life for decades that he didn't want to live. And yes, he damages people in the process, but he's felt damaged and wronged for years. So this is his chance to sort of get it all out there. But I'm not. Yeah, to answer your question, I don't think he's got. There are question marks over whether the advice he's taking from friends are from people who really have his best interests at heart.
Interesting stuff. Thank you for speaking to us as ever, Roya. That's Roya Nikkhah, who is the Sunday Times royal editor. Her piece is on the front page of the Sunday Times today. William burning inside over Harry's revelations. That's her exclusive there. You can also read more of that inside the paper.